What's good, Commanders fans? So I hope you're refreshed after last night. I am. I'm kind of back to normal. I mean, I was a little bit different last night. I mean, 48-18 was a tough one to take on the chin, but we're back, and I think I've realized that basically no starters played last night. We're fine. You know, Monday Night Football is coming up soon. Not this next week, but the week after. Going to see some more starters there, so I'm refreshed. We're going to do winners and losers of last night today, and boy, is there going to be a lot of losers, so you just prepare. Make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. On the road to 2,000 subscribers, I cannot do it without you. Hit that notification bell as well. So, let's start with the short list of winners last night. We'll start with Johnny Newton. He was really good last night. He made a few really nice tackles, and he obviously had the forced fumble, a nice sack on Drake May where he kind of held his ankle and he kind of forced Drake May to just fumble the ball. Drake May was trying to get it out and he fumbled it. And Jacob Martin comes up with the football. I thought Johnny Newton was spectacular last night. I thought that he was playing against Patriots starters, so he is definitely a winner last night. Talked about it yesterday morning. I said, I want to see him. You know, he had an underwhelming first year, didn't play much, was dealing with injuries. He's back, folks, and I can kind of see why he was, first-round talent. People said he was a first-round talent. He was picked at 36 for the Commanders. Really liked what he had to offer last night. Another winner was, I'll do two here. And you didn't expect these names yesterday before the game, but Tay Martin and Braylon Sanders, they both had good games, man. They both really had good games. Let me get these exact stats up to you, but they both had really good games. I mean, they came in and, these are guys that you just sign and Braylon Sanders is a UFL player. So, Braylon Sanders had 2 receptions for 19 yards. Tay Martin had 3 receptions for 36 yards. They both were solid last night. I really, really liked what they had to offer. Ja'Cory Brooks was a winner. 5 receptions, 59 yards, 11.8 on average. Really solid night from him. Stepped up a little bit. He did okay, man. He really did okay. Another winner was Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. Boy, did he look explosive. I was one of those people that was on the edge about him. I wasn't buying the stock. I'm buying the stock now. I see it with him now. I'm buying the stock all the way. I don't care what anybody says. I am buying the stock right now. Really, really impressed. Another winner was Lawrence Cager, tight end. He's a big guy, had a few catches. He did have a drop, but not going to put too much into that. He did have a few catches, looked pretty good. Another winner was a guy that was kind of just mid last night, but he did better than worse. He returned a few kicks. Demetric Felton, 6 carries for 42 yards. Looked really good. Looked like he had done it before, because he has. And so let's get to our next winner here. I think I'm going to put Josh Johnson as a winner. 15 of 22, 173 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He shouldn't have had the interception, but who was it? Who was that dropped the football? Was it Jalen Lane? I think Jalen Lane tipped the football. I think it was. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. I think it was Jalen Lane who the ball was like kind of outstretched and it hit his fingertip and tipped up and the Patriots guy intercepted it. So it's not really Josh Johnson's fault. I think it could have been caught maybe. So let's get to the losers here. We'll start with the whole special teams. First play of the game, you give up a big kick return to a rookie, Travion Henderson. It was ugly. It was really, really ugly. They just came out and they just beat us all night on special teams. And this was our starting special teams unit. Most of the guys there. So they just didn't show up. Larry Izzo stopped down. So these guys have to come back on Monday Night Football and be better than ever. I think it was a little bit of a product of what we'll get into in a second. The coaching. We've only had 4 days of padded practices in training camp, and it just gets to a point like teams like the Steelers have had 7 or 8 practices in pads. We've had 4. You have to prepare yourself. The team just didn't look prepared. After that first play, team just didn't look prepared. Special teams was terrible last night. That's a big, big loss for the Commanders there. Special teams was awful last night. The coaching, again, was another loss. Dan Quinn, Larry Izzo, Joey Jr., Cliff Kingsbury, big loss. We're not prepared whatsoever. And again, I'm not putting too much stock into this. I don't want to put too much stock into this, but the coaching staff was a big loss last night. It was bad. They just weren't ready. And they better be ready for week one. They will be ready for week one. Dan Quinn, what he did last year was fantastic. They will be ready for week one, but as far as the preseason, week one, that was bad. It was bad. So they definitely took the L last night, did the coaching staff. Dan Quinn said last night, he said the standard, and I hate that score just burns him up. So I like that he says that, but go get back in practice next week. Go get back. Do every day padded practices, right? If you really want to get better. So, and they might have a limited number of practices, but I'm just saying, put the pads on. So, obviously, the defense, most of the defense was a loss. The Woolridge guy, the quarterback for the Patriots, he went 9 for 12, 132 yards, 1 touchdown. Joshua Dobbs, 5 for 12, 45 yards. Drake May, 3 for 5, 12 yards. Most of them got cooked. I would say the losers here are Michael Gallup. I would say the other, KJ Osborne, Chris Moore. All the veteran wide receivers took the L last night. First off, they let an undrafted free agent beat them with 59 yards. But second off, they all had significant drops. I mean, Gallup didn't have a significant drop. He had 2 receptions for 27 yards. But really, really bad effort from KJ Osborne. He dropped a lot of passes. He had a few catches, but he just was not good last night. Chris Moore, obviously the first drive of the game for Sam Hartman. Sam Hartman throws him a dot, and it goes right through his hands, and it's kind of the product we've seen the whole offseason. These guys have dropped them all practice, and that's including Ja'Cory Brooks, but Ja'Cory Brooks didn't do that last night under the lights, right? Bad effort from Chris Moore. Go ahead you can't cut him yet, but he's getting cut. I thought he might have a chance, but he's getting cut. No chance he makes the roster. KJ Osborne, probably the same thing. Probably Michael Gallup too. It's probably going to end up being an undrafted free agent, being the 6th wide receiver on this roster, unless Tay Martin comes in and does something spectacular. Because Tay Martin did good last night. He was one of the wide receivers to get separation, so Tay Martin was a winner. But Gallup, loser. Osborne, loser. And then Chris Moore was definitely a big loser. To add to the winners category, I think Ben Sinnott did pretty good last night. Had a few catches. He looked pretty good last night. Granted, basically no other tight ends were playing, but he looked pretty good last night. Carlin Vigors was a big loser. Got ran over by Antonio Gibson, and then Vigors, if you stayed watching the game kind of late in the game, just didn't want to tackle. He just said, nope, I'm done. I'm not tackling anymore. He let the fear get the best of him. Carlin Vigors was a big loser last night. He's not making the roster now because of that. It's pretty obvious. Dan Quinn doesn't like guys that are scared to tackle. He does not like that. So go back and watch Carlin Vigors if you haven't yet, because he got ran over by Gibson and then just didn't want to tackle anymore. And he's a skinny dude, but you got to step in there and make those tackles. I think another winner was Noah Igbenogany. This one could be controversial here because on the first play of the game, on that kickback, Henderson beat Igbenogany. And then also on a Drake May touchdown, the rushing touchdown they had, he beat Igbenogany. But Igbenogany was all over the field last night, making plays, making tackles. He looked really good. He came in with physical implications. Jeremy Reeves was another winner. He had a big hit on someone. I forget who it was. I think it might have been Antonio Gibson. Jeremy Reeves had a few nice plays. He came in with intensity. Percy Butler was probably a winner last night. Looked really good. Trey Amos was a winner last night. Didn't do anything wrong. Looked good. Robert McDaniel was, I don't know if you could call him a winner. He was just kind of in the middle. Didn't do much. Connerly was a winner. Good in pass protection. Did really good last night. He looked pretty good, man. I hate to say this, but I think Jalen Lane was a loser last night just because we didn't see anything from him. They might be stashing Jalen Lane and not putting him out there, but the whole first half, I didn't see a thing from Jalen Lane. And when he got out there to return punts, he got stuffed pretty much. And we didn't see anything at the wide receiver position. let me take a look at his final stats. Yeah. Hold up. So, yeah, he didn't do anything last night. He didn't do anything last night. So, no catches, no receptions or anything for Jalen Lane, but he's not, like, he was a loser last night, but he's fine, man. He's going to be really good in this league. I do have a feeling. So, but just not a great night last night for him. I think they might be stashing him again. So, yeah, I mean, those are your winners and losers of last night. I'm trying to see if I can have anybody else. I mean, Kane Madrano could be considered a winner. Dom Hampton could be considered a winner. Both of those guys got a lot of run, a lot of experience last night, made some tackles. Tyler Owens did okay. Really the whole team won last night because we came away with no injuries. Like, Bill got injured, but he's fine. He's fine. Luke McCaffrey was dealing with a sickness and illness, and so he's fine. Those things just go away in a few days. By the way, I'm not buying his stock. I'm not buying it. I've told you guys this. You guys know if you watch the channel every day. I'm not buying Luke McCaffrey's stock, but we'll see what he does on Sundays. But he just doesn't look good right now. He had a screen pass that he lost a yard on, so. I would say Kazmir Allen was probably a winner last night. Got a lot of run, returning kickoffs. He had 4 returns for 101 yards last night. Really good effort there. And then punt returns, Jalen Lane, 2 returns, 5 yards. Another stock down here was Jalen Lane, not Jalen Lane. Sorry. Matt Gay was a stock down. Matt Gay was it was bad. He made some kicks, right? He made some extra points, whatever. But did he even make an extra point? Because we went for 2 most of the time. But anyways, he made a field goal. But the first drive, we got the Jacob Martin fumble recovery. Team didn't do anything. Forced him to kick a 49-yard field goal. He missed it. But he is the getting the most guaranteed money for a kicker of all time in the NFL. So, you got to see him make those kicks. If it's 52 and in, you have to see him make the kick. Like, anything 52 and out is really excusable, but 49 yards is inexcusable. You have to be knocked down, So, I'm not sure what Adam Peters is going to do. Bring in competition for him, though. Bring in competition. Bring in a former kicker or something like that that's available, because he just, we cannot have a guy that we can't rely on anymore. I'm sick of it. I hated to see him miss that field goal. I'm trying not to be, too mad at him, but that was disgusting. So, can't miss those type of field goals. I need to see Matt Gay be more reliable. I don't know if I can trust him anymore. That's the one thing I said I really didn't want to see last night, was any kicking woes, any kicking problems. But here we go. Could be last year. We might have to trade for a kicker again. We might have to trade for a kicker again. So those are your winners and losers. I think I covered everyone pretty much. It was a lot of losing last night, 48-18. Let's take this and use it for motivation this week for practice, and then we'll come back Monday Night Football against the Bengals, and we'll be fine. We will. A lot of more starters will be playing, and so we had 30 guys out last night. Most of them were starters, so we'll be back, and this one was a tough one. We got knocked up on the chin, but we'll be back on Monday Night Football against the Bengals. Hopefully get a dub at home. So that's going to do it for me. Those are your winners and losers of last night. I think we're good. My big winner was JCM. Really liked his explosion. Really liked what he did. He looked so good last night. There shouldn't be any content out later, but keep your eyes peeled as always. Probably we'll have a video tomorrow as well. So that's going to do it for me. Hail to the Washington Commanders. As always, have a great day.